Hi Capricorn, here is a general look at your solar chart for June 2016. Just a few words about some astrological weather that's going on for all of the signs. So of course that includes you, and this energy of ambiguity, this energy of theory, of the abstract, of things not being down, grounded. People promising the moon, or just trying to maybe convince us to go down a certain path and join with them. But maybe and maybe some of us idealizing them and putting them on a pedestal. But the thing is that it's all smoke and mirrors, really, with this Jupiter Neptune thing going on. Although they're very close by degree, but your sign has these two in really good angles to your sun sign, so actually you're probably going to get the upside of Jupiter Neptune. So this is spirituality, this is you connecting very well with your own intuition, or working with the arts, or making dreams come true. Although I must say, without some Saturn, some real strong backbone of Saturn in there, you're not likely to be able to do that. But this month, that's what's happening. Saturn is coming in your ruling planet, and is so all of this elusive, hazy, misty energy swirling around, with potential, with fantasy, but a certain amount of delusion and illusion, and secrecy is going to get some shape to it, is going to have some containment to it, which I would say is probably a good thing. So this is necessary to get the best out of the Neptune energy. The Jupiter is just pulling a little way away, and Saturn is closing in. So Jupiter is, I would say, after the very beginning, maybe the first week of the month, is not really on the radar. It depends. It depends on if you're a Jupiter person, you see, or where Jupiter was in your natal chart. But it's not so much on the radar. And then Saturn is coming in strong, and Saturn is meaning that what has been up in the air, what has been whispered about, maybe in the corridors of power, maybe on the hustings, or maybe in your own dreams, whispering in your ear, or maybe through the writing on the wall and what you're picking up between the lines, whatever it is. Okay, I could speculate forever. But the core of it is very difficult to speak about these things, actually, because they are so kind of smoke and mirrors, elusive. So, but this is the time that you should strive to be realistic about a dream, or somebody's fantasy, or somebody's what somebody else's kind of illusion is about. So getting more down to the nitty-gritty of it all. At this time, we can tap into that realism that is Saturn, without getting too pessimistic, without getting sort of bogged down in the complexities of it all, and the sort of the negativities which tend to bring down the vibration, and that's undermining. So really this is a period when there is a danger of getting things out of proportion, and shooting ourselves in the foot. However, there is also this regulatory sort of energy coming in here, which is quite formal as well, and it says, okay, if you can manage to balance these ideals, this world as you would like it to be, with those types of structures and boundaries, or these regulations and rules and laws, then you should be doing well. And you should look at where you are now, or where we are now on the timeline, and say, okay, what can be ploddingly achieved from here? Rather than some great kind of dramatic, sensationalist explosion of whatever, or some great new enterprise which is leading us all to this brave new world. It ain't going to work at the moment, I don't think, because Mars is going retrograde, and under a Mars retrograde, if there are major offensives or initiatives going on, they usually tend to either fizzle out, so they come in like a lion and go out like a lamb, or it's very hard to bring the thing together in the way that was originally meant by the original action down the timeline. I mean, slow to bring it together. But you're good at slow. You're patient. You know, you're consistent. You're reliable. And this is the time for not this great sort of major assault. But this is driving steadily, consistently towards certain goals, wherever that is in your life. Or maybe it's not in your personal life, maybe it's on across the wider stage, because as I said at the beginning, this is for all the signs. And here's some Saturn-Neptune suggestions of how to use this energy. Tap into it, working for something which is for the common good. Now you've got Neptune in Mercury's house, which is to do with communications, to do with conveying information, to do with helping others to understand maybe the more elusive side of things, or the more spiritual side, or that's the more hidden side, or maybe you get to understand the more hidden side, the more elusive side. So working consistently towards that. You using your sensitivities to intuit and to conjure. Maybe it's about that. But as you're a member of the common people, then for yourself, do art, work on dreams, listen to music, meditate, do spirituality, do healing. Whether that's for you or from you. Work with the law of attraction. That's fantastic to use this energy for. And you really can manifest with this. You've got the opportunity here, and do whatever uplifts and refines your nature, soothes your heart, and feeds your soul. Now, other things going on. We have a bit of a challenging week. The first week, the energy might be down, the confidence might be down, or you might have more on your shoulders. But if your energy's down, you feel the pressure more. You might have more responsibilities in that first week, and also that lack of clarity just runs through there again, like a little wiggly thread that meanders around all over the place. It kind of, you know, if you follow it, you get lost. So it can be a little bit like that in the first week, and then in the last couple of days, maybe just one day, and going on into the 1st of July, we've got Venus opposite Pluto, so there can be some kind of deeper feelings going on there, or feelings nearer the surface in a relationship, or it can mean a breakthrough or a change and a shift in gears in the dynamics of a relationship. It can be a little bit like that as well, or it might be about money, it might be about property and shared space, that kind of thing. So anyway, it can be any of those things. They're very fleeting, but I thought it was worth a mention because you do have Pluto in your sign. Okay, and you might be feeling differently about somebody or something as well. Now then, until the 21st, you may be dealing with more chores and niggly details, the to-do list, repairs, maintenance, that kind of thing. Venus is in there as well, so she can be helping you with the practicalities of things, so service providers, people that come and give you assistance on something, running repairs, or indeed you could be the person that comes and gives assistance on something yourself. You could be the person that's giving the service, but it is highlighted, it is emphasized in a quite a nice way, really, over those first 3 weeks, nearly 3 weeks in the case of Venus. And your mind is being focused in an innovative, sort of fun sort of a way, playing with ideas, playing with possibilities, playing with concepts. So I expect you to have somebody to play with, or something to play with, to focus on, to play with. The creative juices are flowing. And you could be maybe romantically connected and expressing, or somebody expressing romantically towards you, or it could be about children, young people. It could be about what's going on for them that you are interested in, and there's conversations about that, or it could be you being creatively self-expressive at this time as well. In fact, with the long-term transit of Neptune, where Neptune is, then that is very much inclining you in the direction of using your imagination, I would say. And then we have Mercury from the 13th, focusing your mind upon the same practical aspects of life, the everyday things, and you know, just catching up with things really that the Sun and Venus are. Venus moves out of there though on the 18th into a very strong place for her, so boosting your love life, boosting your friendships maybe, and you and someone feeling a closer rapport, maybe you being sort of flung into a situation where you and somebody's got to get on, and finding that you can get on, you know, in whatever way. And all relationships, personal or professional, tend to flow a little bit more easily and have more emphasis on them. And then we have the Sun moving out of there on the 21st into that same, you know, cooperative partnership or one-to-one sort of dynamic between others, whether that's long-term or short-term, whether that's personal or business. And then we also have, as I said earlier, Mars going retrograde, and that will be affecting, mostly felt, I think. Affecting is the wrong word, but maybe mostly felt by those of you born in the third week or with from 22 degrees rising, if you have Capricorn rising. And, you know, it's not the time to start competing in a very earnest way in a fight that you really need to win, in a very overt way. But if you're covert, if you're sneaky, if you're indirect, then you can do quite well. Mars is transiting a very future-orientated area of your solar chart. That's until the beginning of August, actually a really long stretch there. And you'll tend to be the initiator with projects, or you will be connecting with those in a special circle of people who've got a certain subject or interest in common with each other. You may have a lot on your plate for a bit there because of the needs of others, or just the socializing, maybe. And Mars can be a bit pushy, so on the flip side there can be tensions, there can be this feeling of competitiveness, or a kind of an underlying could even be underlying anger, you know, going on there. So just avoid being hasty. Don't allow others to tire you out or push your buttons. That's what I would say. And this is also a very progressive time. Your board's really going on something you've been waiting for maybe for a while. And now it's actually happening. You know, you're in it. And, you know, a lot can be achieved. A lot can be achieved. And it could be more technologically orientated as well, because this is an area to do with technology. And then we have Saturn, of course, I mentioned before, in the sign before yours. And this is a time for you to maybe be asking some deeper questions, to be tying up loose ends from the past. You'd be doing more inner work, more practices, more healthy sort of spiritual or artistic practices or healing practices. Because you're in this chrysalis, you're in this developing things behind the scenes stage. For when Saturn comes into your sign, and also Pluto's in your sign as well. So you're getting down to the real deeper layers of yourself to find out, you know, what you really want, what you're really here for, as much as we can ever find that out, and really doing that work which is supportive of others, but also maybe you know, accepting support from others to you as well in the way they want to give it, which might not be in the ideal way for you, but you have the grace and the compassion to allow that to come to you in the way they would like to give it, as long as of course it's not harmful. And then we have Jupiter working happily out of his own house in your solar chart, the 9th. So this is you very much reaching out into new areas. This is a very, very good positive angle to your sun sign. Great vibration for beating the drum on something, putting the word out on something. Very much maybe contemplating or debating more philosophical, spiritual subjects. Maybe your world is expanding through connecting with those who are at a very great distance to you, or indeed coming from a background of expertise, specialism, and also this is you asking the sorts of questions about, you know, life, the universe, and everything with Jupiter here, and you learning from that as well. So putting yourself in with the sorts of people or in the sorts of situations that you can learn from, and that will be there until this coming September. You Capricorns born the 3rd to the 8th of January, or with 13 to 19 degrees rising, you're going to feel that energy the most. And I should have said that Saturn, you Capricorns born the 31st of December or to the 4th of January, or with 10 to 14 degrees rising, going to feel that energy the most. And then in conclusion, Uranus, you Capricorns are born with 11 to the 15th of January, or with 21 to 25 degrees rising, going to feel this energy of change coming to you from Aries. So that's going to be right at the foundations of your life, at the root of your chart. The communities that you find yourself in will have surprises. Definitely there will be things about your place on the map which you were not predicting or expecting, or, you know, within a neighborhood or within a catchment area, you know, or that might not be so much that. It might be that history to do with the family, or the present to do with the family holds some surprises and some things that you weren't expecting as well. And Pluto, of course, is in your sign, and this is you really having this regeneration, you know, this branching out into new territories within yourself. So you coming out the other end of it, thinking, wow, you know, I never thought I'd be where I am now. And at the moment, you Capricorns born 4th to the 9th of January, or with 15 to 18 degrees rising, are going to be feeling that the most at the moment. And that's it for June. If you know your rising sign or your moon sign, listen to those. And also, this is written up on my website, DianaGarland.com. And I'll see you the next time.